So, for those of you who are new subscribers, one of the watches that I own, and I do happen to be a watch enthusiast, is a G-Shock GWM 500-1ACR, and I've had that now for about a year and a half, and I absolutely love it. It's basically been my go-to watch if I think that there's going to be any chance of rain out, or if I'm going to be going swimming, or if I'm going to be like at the gym, somewhere where, a regular watch could get beaten up. And a lot of my talking watches apparently aren't very durable. I've got a solar-powered, radio-controlled talking watch that you can't get here in the States. And all it did was make a little bit of a poop onto my carpet. And a side effect of that was, believe it or not, the minute hand got out of alignment. And I have basically decided that I do want another G-Shock. In fact, I stated this in a video that I made about 8 months ago. And the one that I was originally looking at was this one, the GPW 1001A. This is a radio-controlled, solar-powered G-Shock that has GPS on board. Now, I was pretty much set on this one until I found out some rather interesting things. Well, I already knew about the price. The price is $950, which for me is just, it's out there. And that's basically one of the biggest caveats. The other one is the GPS signal has to be put down on demand, and radio controlled takes precedent. Which means at the present stage of my life, where I'm going to remain where I am for a while, I wouldn't really have much of an opportunity to use the GPS unless I go traveling to my summer house. And for $1,000, I just don't think that that's worth it. So I've been looking at other options. I've always liked the design of the GA110s. In fact, these are among the most popular ones aside from the next one that I'm going to show you. The problem for me is the hands are too low contrast. And I've seen others that have higher contrast hands, but then you've got a positive lower display and a negative upper display. And negative displays, which are basically white text on black background, traditionally high contrast is beautiful for somebody with low vision like myself. But this is not white on black. It's actually gray, sort of a medium gray, like a cement gray on a reflective black. And the only way you can really see that is out in direct sunlight, which to me just is not doable. Now, these watches do have a backlight, but the backlight is down here at the 6 o'clock position, which makes a negative display, especially one that's, like, let's say your time is the negative display, that makes it impossible to see, and you're thinking, well, just use the hands. Again, the hands, they blend in, which for me is a problem, which is a shame because I love the design of the 110s, but I think from a functionality standpoint, it just wouldn't work out. Another particular model that I've been extremely interested in is any variant of the 6900. This is the GBX 6901 AF, I think. The killer feature on this one is Bluetooth. The watch can synchronize, it can synchronize the time with an iPhone or Android device. And you can receive your messages and your notifications, your phone calls. It's really, really cool when it works. I've been reading the reviews on this one, and a lot of people have said that the watch has lost connection for no reason. For iOS, it doesn't synchronize with iMessages at all, which to me also translates over into general text messages. Any user of Android Lollipop, there was a review on Amazon. Somebody said that if you upgrade to Lollipop, that's going to completely break everything. And on top of those caveats, I've actually seen some reviews and videos. The watch just doesn't do a good job of remaining connected. And you have to give Casio credit for trying. This, if it worked, would be my choice. Because one of the really cool things is it's not radio controlled and it's not solar powered. It does have a 3-year battery, which for a smartwatch, which I guess you can consider this a smartwatch, for a smartwatch that can also take a real beating, that's great. You don't have to worry about plugging it in every night. And also, it's not radio controlled, but with a button push on the watch or a tap of an item on the phone, you don't need to worry about setting it at all. The watch can automatically synchronize to your phone's clock. And on top of that, the synchronization takes place every time Bluetooth is engaged. So if I travel from my hometown to, let's say, Australia, for example, and I managed to have a phone without any roaming or whatever, but that's beside the point. So anyway, I go to Australia, and I get off in Australia, and there's such a huge time difference. All I have to do is engage the Bluetooth, and my watch will automatically synchronize to Australian time. So these are some really great features. When they work, that's my main concern about this watch. It's a beautiful concept. I can take this up to my summer house, get dirt thrown on it, whatever you want to do, and it'll be just fine, and I could still get my notifications. But from what I understand in practice, this thing kind of leaves a bit to be desired. And it's a real shame because I really like the 6900s. So the one that I think I might go with is the AWGM 100 1F. The really nice thing about this is the fact that it's not very busy at all. You've got 3 separate LCD displays, which makes things very easy to find, and it's got a nice green, bright green on gray, high contrast, and white on gray, high contrast setup. Now, I want to close out this video with a question. I would like to hear your opinions on my second G-Shock. I have not purchased it yet and probably won't for a while. I've given my reasons as to why the others might not work out. The reason I might go for this one is because I have a smaller wrist. This is a smaller G-Shock, so it'll probably fit better. And also just the overall design. I tend to prefer analog over digital, only because in certain situations I can see analog in low light a lot better than I can a digital display. Other than that, other than these analog hands, it's your typical run-of-the-mill G-Shock. It's pretty much the same as the one that I already have, which is this one. But again, I think for this, like I said, I did want a second G-Shock. I do want it to be an analog. But at the same time, that's not necessarily 100% priority. If we could get, if there was any way at all to get this to work, the 6900, because, like I said, I've loved the 6900s for a long time, and a lot of times the 6900s and the GA110s are both chosen a lot of times to have collaborations done with famous groups. Like there's an M&M 6900, there was an environmentally friendly 6900 that was like translucent blue or something. So the 6900 is extremely popular, but for me, it has to be more than just looks. If anybody out there has any comments or suggestions, I do think that I'm probably going to go with this one, the AWGM 100 1F. But if anybody has any suggestions regarding the 6900, specifically the GBX 63900 or perhaps another Bluetooth variant. I know there was a DW5600 variant that also had Bluetooth. And I'm not really looking at the ones that can synchronize music. That's not what I'm after. If I did get one of these, it would be for the notifications. So any G-Shock enthusiasts out there want to weigh in? Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome, and have a nice day.